Happy holidays and welcome back to Josh and Kristie Stealing the Internet. I'm Josh.
And I'm Kristie. We've got some holiday-themed Reddit stories for you today, so grab your milk and cookies and let's get going.
Am I the asshole for telling my friend that proposing is not a suitable Christmas present?
Ooh, not the asshole. I agree. That is not a Christmas present. And it seems very egotistical to be like, getting to marry me is your present this year. I don't like that.
All I need for Christmas is you.
That's nice if you say that to someone. You can't say to someone, all you need for Christmas is me. I do not like it.
I have a friend who I'll be calling Harry. Harry and I have known each other for over a decade. We're in our early 30s. He was part of my own wedding party, and 99 times out of 100, he's an all-around great guy.
Sure, that's why you're bringing it to Reddit to see if he's an asshole.
Well, that 1% of the time you need backup. Harry has been dating his girlfriend for around 4 years. She is an absolute diamond and brings out all the best qualities in him. A couple of weeks ago, Harry confided in me that he was planning to propose to his partner over Christmas. She's very family-focused, and he is setting it up so his parents unexpectedly visit them early in the morning. They're doing Christmas with her family this year. He's planning on proposing during present opening in front of his and her parents, and her siblings and their kids. When chatting about arrangements a couple of days ago, Harry made a throwaway comment about the engagement saving him some time in relation to the rest of his Christmas shopping. I asked him what he meant, and he said that since he was proposing, he hadn't planned to get his partner anything else for Christmas.
No, he's wrong.
I said that the two were not mutually exclusive. When I got engaged, albeit not at Christmas, my husband still got me a birthday present the following month. Harry raised that the ring was costing him more than several usual Christmas and birthday presents combined, which is true.
It's expected to, and it is not instead of Christmas and birthday presents. This is an added expense.
But it is not the case that he is scraping together every last penny to buy it either. And there is absolutely money to spare for a couple of gifts that he'd usually get his partner. I also pointed out that since he is hoping to surprise her with the proposal, that it would also become quite obvious that something was afoot if there were no presents for her from him under the tree.
You know what's going to happen? She's going to be like, there's no presents for me under the tree. You don't love me. I'm breaking up with you before he can propose. This is not going to go well.
We went back and forth for a while, with Harry continuing to take the stance that getting engaged is definitely a gift.
No, not most people do not propose at Christmas. It is not a Christmas gift, or else everybody would get proposed to at Christmas. I do not like this man.
Getting engaged to Harry is a gift. I said that it was all well and good, but that his girlfriend will absolutely have bought him gifts that he will both appreciate and use, and that an engagement is in no way the same kind of exchange in that sense. Additionally, while his partner is in no way materialistic, she is someone who appreciates the give and take of mutual present exchanges, like Christmas, white elephants, etc.
She's going to feel like you were just too lazy to go Christmas shopping for her, which it kind of feels like is the case.
We didn't have a major fight or anything like that about this, but Harry has said that he's probably not going to share more about the engagement with me because I have differing views.
He doesn't like what you have to say, and he does not want your feedback.
Which is why you gotta go to Reddit and have strangers yell at him on the internet.
Yeah. I hope Reddit sets him straight.
I don't want to be a stubborn old fool on something I'm clearly wrong about, so would appreciate the view of internet strangers on this.
Okay, I feel like you have said your piece to Harry and he does not want to hear it, so this is when you just step back and be like, whatever happens is your fault.
It depends a lot on how good of a friend you are, because if they're a good enough friend, you might need to continue pushing a few more times to try to help save them from self-destructing.
Like going to Reddit and showing them what an asshole they are?
Yeah, I think that's actually a really good step. Saying, okay, you don't trust my opinion, here's the opinion of a few thousand other people.
Yeah, I just do not think that proposing can be a replacement for Christmas presents. Extremely egotistical, saying that marrying you is the best present he could get you for Christmas. And then I feel like it shows a lack of thought and caring that you couldn't be bothered to actually go Christmas shopping for them. And the majority of people get engaged and it does not count as a Christmas present or a birthday present. Engagement is its own separate thing. You can't combine them and get rid of one of the presents because you got her an engagement ring. No, that's not how it works.
It does kind of seem like he's trivializing either the holiday or the engagement. One of the two, by assuming that he can just combine them. It's like people who have December birthdays.
Yes, That is exactly. People who have December birthdays hate when they get just their birthday lumped in with Christmas because it's not fair. Everybody else gets 2 celebrations. Why do they only get 1? And I feel like this is the same thing. Everybody else gets an engagement celebration and a Christmas celebration. Why does she have to have them lumped into 1? And I feel like proposing at Christmas is okay as long as you like make it its own separate thing from Christmas. You still got to celebrate Christmas and the engagement separately. You're just on the same day.
Or you just got to make Christmas extra special by still getting her the regular presents in addition to the ring.
Okay, please tell me that Reddit ripped this guy a new one.
Before that, there's a couple quick edits to address some common responses.
Okay.
People are saying he shouldn't propose to her in front of others.
You need to know what your partner likes. Do they want a public proposal or they're the kind of person that wants a private proposal?
Getting engaged in front of family would suit his partner to a T. This is definitely something she would want based on previous conversations.
Okay, so he's doing good there.
And then the other one is you shouldn't involve yourself too much in your friend's life. The entire discussion lasted maybe 5 minutes while we were having a drink, including Harry saying he'd not bring it up with me anymore. In no way have I told him point blank to do or not do something. And we have spoken civilly on other topics since. I'd hope that everyone has a friend or two who will be honest with them if they think they're in the wrong, to be frank. My question has centered on the proposal as the gift, not on if I'm a bad friend.
I don't think he's a bad friend. In fact, now that I know it was only a 5-minute conversation, I do feel like if he was a good friend, he would have pushed it a little bit more and been like, this really doesn't seem like a good idea to me.
Personally, I might have brought it up a second time and been like, bro, you gotta go gift shopping.
I know you don't want to hear this from me, but I think it's a really bad idea. You need to get her another present. And what is the harm? Like, this could blow up in your face if you don't get her a present, but what's the worst that happens if you do get her another Christmas present? You spent a little bit more money.
That's a great way to put it right there, is you can't go wrong with the extra present.
Yes.
Reddit says not the asshole.
Of course, I did see that coming. I just want to know how much they ripped into this guy.
Top comment. I think the idea that proposing is a gift from him to her, as opposed to a mutually joyful step forward for both of them, is a bit distasteful.
Yes, this too. That's a very good point, because getting engaged isn't supposed to be just for the girl. This is a joint thing that you both should be celebrating. This is for both of you. He's supposed to want this as much as the girl wants it, or else why is he proposing?
Honestly, that comment was a lot calmer than I expected the top comment to be.
That is true, yeah. That was not really ripping into him, but it did bring up a very valid point.
This is more what I expected Reddit to be saying. I have a feeling this is a glimpse of the ghost of Christmas future for Harry's partner. It's clear that he's unable to wrap his head around the idea that he isn't the greatest gift of all. Too bad he doesn't come with a gift receipt.
Yeah, that's more along the lines of what I expected. Also, I do want to bring up the point that if he is doing this as her Christmas present, then that engagement ring is a Christmas present to her, and there is no way he can ever get that ring back if they break up.
I mean, I'm hoping that he's not buying the ring with the thought in the back of his head that I might need to get this back if we break up. You really should not go into an engagement with like that level of backup in your head.
No, but I'm just saying there are precedents set in the court of law that if an engagement ring is a gift for a birthday or Christmas, there's no reason that the ex-fiancé needs to give it back to the ex-fiancé. That's confusing.
This is true. Legally, he will be out of luck. Hopefully he doesn't screw this up to the point that it comes up.
I do not have confidence in him, though.
The engagement is the present reads as if engagement and marriage is only to benefit her. It feels like he's selling himself as a gift, while that's simply not true. In a relationship, engagement and marriage should be for both sides, so no, not the asshole.
I agree with that completely.
So we agree with Reddit. You're not the asshole, but you really should probably push a little harder on this. Show him the post, please.
Yes, you definitely need to send this post to him. I really hope that after Christmas we get an update from this guy.
Yeah, because this one is from this year.
I want to know what happens. How mad is the girlfriend? I need to know.
Hopefully she's not mad at all, because she'll never find out about this discussion. Fingers crossed.
But I want to know if she's miffed that she doesn't get any presents this year.
No, I'm hoping she gets a present this year and it does not continue.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, okay. Am I the asshole for telling my brother he cannot stay with me over Christmas if he brings his prosthetic leg?
Doesn't he need the leg to, walk? I guess I'm gonna say you're the asshole at this point? Because I don't know why you would tell somebody they can't have their mobility aid.
My younger brother has a prosthetic leg. I think it's creepy AF, and I have no idea where he got it. I'm reasonably certain that it is something I would rather not know. To be clear here, my brother has 2 perfectly healthy legs still attached to his body.
where and you just don't want to know why he has this prosthetic leg? Why is he going to bring a prosthetic leg with him when he comes to visit? If he doesn't need it.
He just has this thing he takes with him everywhere. I don't know why. I don't want to know. Before you ask, yeah, it is probably a mental health thing. Emotional support prosthetic leg.
Yeah, it's his emotional support leg. He just brings this to all family functions.
I want to know how long he's been bringing this prosthetic leg with him everywhere.
How fancy of a prosthetic leg is it?
Yeah, I want to know, is it like just a stick, like, you know, the old-fashioned pirate peg leg, or is it like a cyborg mechanical prosthetic leg?
I was picturing one of those, like, very high-tech ones, but those get really expensive really fast, don't they?
Yes, any kind of prosthetic leg is extremely expensive, so where did he get it?
I don't know. You don't just pick that up at the thrift store, I don't think.
He wanted to stay with me rather than our parents while he is home for the holidays. I said he was welcome to stay so long as he doesn't bring that thing into my house. He said it wasn't a big deal and he would leave it in his luggage. I agreed on the condition that if I saw it outside of his luggage in my home, then I had the right to destroy it.
What is he doing with the leg that it creeps you out to this extent? Is he like I guess he's just wandering from room to room holding the leg?
I don't know, but it is a little creepy. Why is he so attached to this fake leg?
I can't think of any legitimate reason to have a leg. It's so
right?
weird.
Every reason is a little bit weird and creepy.
It's not even just like he got this prosthetic leg at a garage sale somehow and he thinks it's cool, so he mounted it on his wall. No, he carries it around with him from in his day-to-day life.
He then backtracked on staying with me and is at our parents' house, where he is miserable. They still treat him like a little boy instead of a guy who is almost 30.
So it was such a deal breaker that the leg had to stay inside his luggage at all times that he'd rather go stay with your parents than with you?
He doesn't want to risk you destroying it when he sneakily takes it out of his luggage.
Is he like using the leg to scare you somehow? That's all I can think of, is that he's using the leg to be annoying.
He called me again after supper and asked to please stay with me. I said he could so long as we, together, took his thing and put it in a storage unit until he leaves. I get the key. He won't do it.
You hate this leg so much that you're willing to rent out a storage unit?
That could be expensive, but also, yeah, I don't want your creepy, weird-ass leg in my house. What are you doing with that leg in my house?
I don't know. I hope there's more information coming.
He says that I'm being a bitch for not letting him stay with me. I think he needs to get therapy or medication, or both, or a girlfriend, boyfriend, dog, cat, hamster, something. Just not a goddamn prosthetic leg. Okay, there is an update, but what do you think?
I think I gotta agree with OP. Why is he bringing that leg around? Get a dog, please.
Top comment, I know this is extremely distressing for you, but I'm laughing so hard. At first I was like, this asshole serious? She won't let her brother bring his leg? Like his whole ass leg that he needs to walk because he literally lost a leg in some horrible accident? But then you clarified that both his healthy legs are still attached and I lost it. NTA, but you and I are not the same. I would need to know all of it. Where did you get it? Why do you have it? What do you do with it? Did you steal it off of a bum or something? And then I would stare at him uncomfortably until he broke and told it all to me. I may later regret my decision, but I don't often think that far into the future when something catches my attention. Yeah, I'm with this commenter. I really want to know, why does he have this leg? Where did he get this leg? Did he steal it from someone? Is someone missing a leg now because this guy stole it?
Yeah, I really want to know what quality this leg is. Is it just like a lamp from the Christmas Story, or like what are we dealing with here?
Oh, okay. OP does answer a question. Someone asks, what does the leg even look like? Below the knee, above the knee? Does it just have the pylon bare, or is there foam covering it so it sort of looks like a leg? Is there a foot shell on it? Is there a foot component just sort of hanging out? This commenter who's asking is a prosthetist.
They work with prosthetics.
Yes. And they're really expensive, and you can't just get one if you have both of your legs. Like, you need a stump to measure it and fit it to.
Well, yeah, it's not like it's measured to him. It's not like he just has a spare just in case.
So OP replies, it looks like a carbon fiber cup with a steel knee and lower leg and foot. So it's an above the knee prosthetic. But I don't think it's like super high tech. It's just like, it looks like a fake leg.
I don't know. It sounds like it's got all the right joints and everything. It's not like it's just one of those ones that has like a metal hook.
Yeah.
It sounds like they actually put some work into this one.
I think those ones are even more expensive. They're for like athletics and stuff.
Are they?
Yeah.
I don't know much about prosthetic legs.
They're like the springy, it's a big springy hook at the bottom. And I think those are more expensive.
I always assumed that was just a folded piece of metal. I don't know.
Well, I think because those ones are made for athletics, so it's harder to measure it and get it to just the right measurements so that a person can run with it.
Oh, okay. I mean, yeah, sports equipment does generally have a bit of a premium.
But then I don't know, maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, I guess neither of us has ever had to really look into prosthetics.
Not really, no. Okay, on to the update like a week and a half after Christmas. I didn't realize how much attention this was going to get, enough that someone informed the woman my brother stole it from, and she was able to figure out what happened. She called the cops and he got arrested.
Oh no, brother, come on. I suppose there's probably not a lot of missing prosthetic legs at any given time.
I guess he was sort of trying to do the thing where he could be the hero that tracked down her leg. Please don't ask me what the fuck was going through his head. The leg was expensive enough that he is facing real criminal charges. That's all. Sorry, there is not more to tell. Okay, so he can't have had the leg that long if he stole it from this woman and then was going to be like the hero who returned it to her. It's got to be a relatively new development that he's got this leg. I still want to know, why is he taking it everywhere with him and not just leaving it at his home?
From the initial description, I thought this was a problem that you'd been dealing with for years.
Yeah, me too. I thought it was going on for at least like months.
Yeah, here comes bro with that leg again. I had already had to deal with it through my birthday. But no, it sounds like maybe you've only had to deal with it since Thanksgiving.
That is still a really long time for someone to be without their prosthetic leg.
Yeah, I feel like he needed to follow through on the plan earlier and also just not have this plan in the first place because it's a bad plan.
This is a terrible plan. But also, don't make this person you're apparently trying to make like you by being a hero. Don't make her suffer without her leg for weeks. Like a day or two.
Yeah, it's not a good plan at all on any level. Maybe he has roommates, though, and that's why he has to bring it with him on holiday so no one discovers the leg.
Top comment, I feel like he would have returned it way sooner if he wanted to play the hero. And someone replies, given that he was traveling with it like it's a security blanket, it sounds like he's had it for a while. I was thinking it was more like a sexual thing for him rather than a hero thing. So weird and disturbing.
Yeah, the fact that he knows the person the leg came from makes it so much worse.
That's wild. I wonder why he wanted to bring it with him, though. Is he obsessed with the woman and has to carry this leg around with him at all times? I mean, stealing it is one thing, but why carry it around all the time? If he tried to be a hero, he could have hid it. Sounds more like a weird obsession. I don't think he wanted to give it back to be the hero. I have so many questions, but I'm glad the woman will get her leg back. This is something I never thought I would say.
Yeah, I'm glad she's getting her leg back. That is a sentence I didn't think I was going to say. You are right.
Second update, 11 months after that.
Oh, okay. Let's see how this goes.
So it's finally over. My brother had to go to court after being charged with several crimes, the most serious being felony theft. I will just put the bullet points of results. He was found guilty because he was too stupid to take a plea deal. He had to serve some time incarcerated and now has parole. He managed to avoid being charged with the sex crime. My parents have paid to have the leg reconditioned or whatever it's called. A professional prosthetic devices mechanic got it back in working condition. The woman got her leg back as well as some money in restitution. He is not welcome at my home with or without any prosthetics for the foreseeable future. The woman has a restraining order against him indefinitely. That's all there is to tell. Hope this answers everyone's questions. Thanks for still caring about this weird experience in my life.
I don't even know how to follow up on that. I'm glad that things have worked out for the woman.
But sorry she had to go through that.
Yeah, sorry she had to go through that. Sorry you had to go through that, OP.
Reddit still has questions. Hold on, you can't leave us all hanging. How did your brother get this woman's leg? How did he know her? Was he dating her? A friend? Met her on a bus and stole it? How long has he had it? You said he wanted to be the hero by returning it, so why the hell was he still holding on to it, and exactly how long did he have it?
Those are all very valid questions. Is there an answer? Or
No, there isn't, and I want to know too!
It's just one of those mysteries in life, like why is the sky blue? Why does that man have a prosthetic leg? Hey, if you're enjoying this episode so far, don't be a Grinch. Hit that subscribe button.
It lets us know we should keep making fun content like this for you guys and makes our holidays a little bit more merry.
Am I the asshole for suggesting my daughter skip Hanukkah gifts this year?
I don't know. It seems weird to ask anyone to skip holiday gifts, but maybe you have a legitimate reason. Let's hear it.
I, 58 male, have 3 children. My daughter Marie, 28, and my son Frank, 25 male, are from my first wife. And I have a son, Chris, 7 male, with my new wife. I admit that Chris is a little spoiled and used to getting his way. Marie got married 2 years ago, and her husband is Jewish. She celebrates Hanukkah with him and his son, John, 8 male, and her husband's family. John lives with them full-time as his mom is not in the picture. They also come to see us for Christmas, which would be via Zoom this year. So, we usually do the 4-gift rule when it comes to Christmas, since Chris tends to get stuff throughout the year. Well, he came home from school last week saying how a kid in his class is Jewish, and he gets a present every night of Hanukkah, and how it wasn't fair that he was getting 8 presents, and he only got 4. I pointed out that he also got things throughout the year, and that I wasn't sure if the gifts were even that good. He started complaining that John was going to get 8 gifts, plus whatever we get him, and he was only going to get 4 gifts, plus whatever they get him. I said it didn't actually matter, but I ended up having to send him to his room to calm down.
This kid is 7 years old. Does he not believe in Santa?
I don't know if Santa gets brought up. They're just getting 4 gifts from his parents. Also, Santa's real.
Yes. I didn't say he wasn't. I just asked if the kid believes in him. You know, some adults are Grinches and don't believe in Santa, but they're obviously wrong. I don't know. All the Jewish kids I knew growing up hated the 8-gift thing because they were usually like not as nice a gifts as us other people were getting for Christmas.
Yeah, the couple Jewish people I knew growing up would get like pencils on day 1 and like school supplies. I called Marie and asked if they could maybe skip Hanukkah gifts this year because it upset Chris so much knowing that John was going to have so many more gifts than him.
Okay, that does not seem like the correct response to this. Why don't you try parenting your child a little bit instead of having someone else change the rules in their own home and for their own holiday?
No, but couldn't you just skip Hanukkah?
It'd make it so much easier for OP if you just treated your kid worse so that he didn't look bad to his son in comparison.
She said no. They had already bought all his gifts, and considering Chris wasn't even going to see what he got, it shouldn't be a big deal. I admit I got a little frustrated and said it wouldn't kill her to do something that could help her brother. She told me that Chris was being a spoiled brat about gifts, and it wouldn't be helping him to deny John his gifts they spent time and energy picking out just so he wouldn't throw a tantrum.
Sounds like the daughter has the correct response. That's all very reasonable arguments, and I agree with her.
But this poor kid's nephew turns up and is like, I got so many more gifts than you.
Okay, I know the kid is 7, but this might be a good time to bring up budgeting and be like, I have budgeted this much money for your Christmas presents. If you want 8 presents, I will get you 8 presents, but they won't be as nice a presents because I have to stick with this budget.
I feel like that's a little too mathematic, and at 7 and 8, the lesson you should be trying to teach them is you can't be jealous of what other people get for the holidays.
Well, that's a good lesson too. I'm just thinking, like, I knew from a pretty young age, like, what the budget was. And my mom would try and do a very good job of like getting us enough presents that it looked like a big pile and stuff. But we also knew that if we got a really nice present, our pile might be smaller than our sister's pile.
That's true. You do try to make it even amongst the kids, but with different households, I think a lot of it is teaching the kid, hey, don't look over there and be jealous about their situation.
Yeah, that's a good point. Like, that's a different family. I mean, same extended family, but different immediate family. So they do things differently, and that's not how we do things, but you need to not look over there and be happy with what you get. And if you're not grateful, there will be consequences. No, I'm just kidding.
Sorry, you said different immediate family, and technically it's his sister is the mom.
But he's jealous of his nephew.
Yeah.
Which is weird.
It is a little...
That his nephew is 1 year older than him.
It's a little confusing, but it does happen.
Yeah.
After she told me no, I lost my temper and said she wasn't even his real mom, so I wasn't sure why she was picking some kid she wasn't even related to over her brother.
Ooh, them's fighting words.
I regret saying that. She blew up, and the short of it is, I'm a terrible person. She has no interest in helping spoil Chris any more than he already is, and she will not be celebrating via Zoom with us this year and does not want to hear from me again anytime soon. I shouldn't have said what I did, I admit that, but she hung up before I could apologize. Now Mark is on my case saying that I need to stop babying Chris and that he wouldn't be seeing us either because if he or Marie had acted like Chris acts, I'd have punished them. I'm frustrated and my wife says she understood my heart was in the right spot, but it was kind of unreasonable to ask them not to celebrate Hanukkah because Chris felt slighted. I don't really think I was so wrong to ask, but maybe it was unreasonable. I don't think my kids should be this angry at me though. It was suggested I post here, so was I really such an asshole for this?
Yes, that was a huge overstep, asking someone to change the way that they celebrate the holidays in their own home, separate from you. Like, why are you butting yourself into the way that they celebrate? Plus the added thing of like, this is a different religion. You cannot dictate how other religions celebrate a holiday. That's a big no-no.
Yeah, it's an unreasonable ask on a lot of levels. Like, you can't just ask a Jewish family not to celebrate a Jewish holiday. And you also can't ask somebody to give their kid less presents so that your kid feels better. Like, that is just spoiling the child.
This guy really just does not want to parent his 7-year-old and teach him the lesson that, hey, sometimes people get different amount of gifts for different occasions, you know?
It is a bit of a stereotypically spoiled youngest, isn't it? This is his daughter saying this. Like, it sounds like he raised his daughter to be like, if you threw a tantrum like this, you'd be grounded.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, even the brother pointed out that if they had acted like this as kids, they would have gotten in trouble.
Reddit agrees. OP is the asshole. Top comment. LOL, let me get this straight. You asked your adult daughter and her husband to not give her stepson Hanukkah gifts in their own home because your similar-aged son in your home wouldn't like knowing the stepson got more gifts overall than him. You're the asshole and this isn't even close. There is no alternative universe where you would not be the asshole here. Your older kids are right, Chris is spoiled and you know it. You can increase his gift count if you want, it's your home and your money, but you absolutely 100% cannot ask an adult to alter their own holiday celebration in their own home because your kid is jealous. But you really should nip this in the bud now before it's too late to fix Chris, and he winds up a victim of affluenza.
It's like when you're an affluent person, very rich. They're making a joke with influenza, the flu, a contagious disease, and affluenza, being very affluent and entitled.
That went right over my head. P.S. You should have fake named him Dudley instead of Chris, because this is basically right out of Harry Potter and Dudley got worse before he got better.
There's only 30 presents. Last year I got 31. So something like that? I don't remember.
Oh, the next comment, 36, but last year I had 37.
Ah,
it's
yes.
Like, your numbers are off.
I feel like OP really needs to nip this in the bud and teach his son that he can't be spoiled. But if he didn't want to do that because he's apparently lazy and doesn't want to parent his own child, the easier option would have been to get him 8 presents. Just buy cheapo presents from the dollar store.
That is true. He could have just filled up the presents a little if that's his whole issue with the subject.
Yeah, my son's jealous of your stepson because he gets more presents. Instead of asking her to give her stepson less presents, just give your son more presents. That's like way less of a weird ask.
It really is weird. I don't think that buying more presents for your kid is the correct choice.
But it's better than asking someone to give their kid less presents.
Oh, it's much better than that. Just wrap up like 4 candy bars.
But still not the right choice. Just parent your son. Teach them not to be spoiled.
I actually disagree with your wife. Your heart wasn't in the right place, and now you are joining the dubious club of fathers who turn into horrible fathers to the children they had first when they get a new family. Welcome. The prizes include new children who turn into narcissistic brats, prior children who want nothing to do with you, and brothers and sisters who are distant and uninvolved. You're the asshole.
Yeah, he is really creating a rift between his older children and his younger child here.
Yeah, you really shouldn't be driving a wedge in between your kids like this.
Am I the asshole for telling my father and his girlfriend that the gift she got me was creepy and invasive?
Ooh, how was it creepy? I hope it was a puppet. Did she make, like, a puppet of OP and give it to them? Because that's what I want it to be. I want it to be an evil puppet.
It is not an evil puppet.
But
I'm so sorry to disappoint you.
I want it to be something at that level. Like, did they steal OP's hair and knit a sweater out of it?
That is creepy and invasive. It is not that, though.
Oh, but it needs to be because I've set my expectations too high.
You are going to be so disappointed. I'm so sorry. I'm expecting my first child due in February. This is the very first grandchild on both sides, so everyone is very excited about it. My father's girlfriend, Lena, and I have an okay relationship, but we're very different people. I don't like most of the things she likes and vice versa. There's no bad blood between us, but she can be a bit pushy sometimes, so we're not exactly close. One of the biggest differences between me and Lena is our stance on influencer culture. She loves it, I don't. Since I got pregnant, she's been sending me posts on Instagram of random influencers talking about their experiences with childbirth, motherhood, etc. A few months ago, one of her favorite influencers gave birth and filmed the whole thing. She posted a cutesy, poorly edited video of the baby being born and her entire family watching from outside the delivery room, with country music playing in the background. Lena sent me that video, and I remember telling her I'd never do something like that.
Okay. I mean, you can film your birth or not. I guess that's up to you. It seems a little mean to have added in the poorly edited part for the influencer who decided that they did want to share the experience of birth with their followers.
Yeah, she really does not like influencers and seems a little bit condescending about it. But I mean, that's not a lifestyle choice that everyone wants to make.
That's true. You're allowed to like and dislike what you want.
My husband and I celebrated Christmas at my cousin's place with the rest of the family. When it was time for us to exchange and open our gifts, Lena gave me an envelope. Inside was a videographer's business card. She told me she was hiring him to film my birth. I seriously cannot imagine being filmed while going through a medical procedure, and I don't want anyone besides my husband at the hospital with me. I've been clear about that since I announced my pregnancy.
You especially don't want just some strange man in the room with you.
Shoving that camera up your bits to see that baby coming out.
Yeah, no, I fully agree with not wanting that filmed.
I mean, if you want it filmed, you're allowed to do that, but I can get behind not wanting it filmed. Like, I would not want that filmed.
If you want it filmed, have husband film it. Or, like, a sibling who makes sure they stay at tasteful angles, not some random guy.
But he's a professional. He'll know how to do it right.
I've met plenty of professionals who do not know how to do it right.
I didn't want to embarrass Lena, so I thanked her when she gave me the card. Yesterday, my husband and I had lunch with her and my father, and I told her that while I appreciate the gesture, I didn't feel comfortable with the videographer. I said she didn't have to get me anything else for Christmas, but I'd appreciate it if she didn't hire him.
That's a very reasonable way to reject having a man film your vagina.
I'm sorry.
It's a medical term. I'm allowed to say it.
Both she and my father got offended, and we ended up having an argument. At one point, Lena started crying and said she couldn't understand why I'd pass up on the opportunity of creating such a beautiful memento of my child's birth. I replied that I found the idea of having someone film me during such a vulnerable moment to be creepy and invasive, and that this wasn't the first time I expressed I was uncomfortable with it.
Sorry, I haven't seen, like, a lot of birth videos.
Uh-huh.
What angle do they film from?
I have no idea. I have never watched one. I do know someone I used to babysit for did have a birth video, and the, 4-year-old kid was like, "Do you want to watch me being born?" And I was like, "No, I do not." And I did not watch it. But he had apparently seen his birth video many, many times.
Oh, okay. I'm just saying, the only ones that I've seen are, medical ones, where they're, showing you from a medical perspective, so you see everything.
Yeah.
The ones that are, tasteful influencer, I have no idea what angle they film from. I would hope it's over the mother's shoulder.
Yeah, and with drapes spread across all the important bits.
Yeah, and then you just see the doctor pop up with a baby. That's what I hope.
I mean, that is probably all that you are allowed to post on social media, but you wonder, do they have, close-up angles for their personal viewing of, the baby coming out?
Yeah, that's the part that worries me, is you've got just this strange cameraman in the room. Somebody needs to keep an eye on him and tell him to stay on that side of the sheet. Having said that, we know nothing about this cameraman. I'm sure he's a professional, and he's a very good person.
My father said that it was rude of me to say that and refuse the gift, and he's very disappointed in me. My husband agrees with me, as does pretty much my whole family. I don't really think I did anything wrong, but my father's reaction is freaking me out. Am I the asshole?
No, you're not the asshole. You're the mom. You are the only person who gets to decide where the cameras are in that room. And like, I don't know, maybe you could do some kind of shoot with the cameraman after when the baby is like cute and not covered in goo.
Yeah, that seems like if she's not comfortable with filming the birthing process, that seems like a much better use of the videographer is like get some like nice touching video moments of you with the baby after the birth in the hospital.
Maybe not even in the hospital, just at home a couple weeks after you've recovered.
Yeah, there are a lot of times that you could have a videographer and make some cute videos that don't involve showing the world your vagina.
Yes, I am all for everyone being fully clothed and presentable in the video.
One of the top comments, NTA, do not tell them when you are in labor and tell the hospital that both of them aren't allowed in the delivery room. I can see Lena whipping out her phone, and if your dad doesn't have your back during a moment that is purely yours and your husband's, then he can wait outside too.
I'm a big fan of everybody but husband waiting outside.
Me too. Now, I can see if it is like a very difficult birth, I might want my mom there. Generally, like it is the birthing mother's choice who is there, and I generally think just the husband is a good idea. It is not a spectator sport.
And also, I think that you trust your mom not to pull out her phone and start recording.
Oh, yeah. If I had like a narcissistic mom or something, I would not want her there. But my mom is, very nice and caring and would not do that to me. Someone else says, NTA, OP should tell them to save it for when one of them or both have a colonoscopy. Start a new trend. Or the father's girlfriend's next pap smear. I mean, it does get your point across that, hey, this is a medical procedure and I do not want it filmed. Do you want your medical procedures filmed? No.
Yeah, that is true. I think not many people will want to watch those videos either. I feel like it's just one of those situations where you expect it to have that kind of home movie feel. Like, OP is not an influencer. There is no reason they need a professional. They need, like, a quick phone quality video of her and husband sitting there, and then they wheel her off, and then transition happens, and they wheel her back into the room holding a kid. Like,
yep.
There's no reason for it to film all that part that could very easily be covered by a fade to black. This one is from R. True Off My Chest. Guy I'm seeing legitimately thinks Santa Claus is real.
I mean, he's old enough to be dating. This is concerning to me.
What's concerning is that it sounds like OP doesn't think Santa Claus is real. I think he actually believes Santa is a real person in some capacity and thinks he delivers presents to his family personally. I'm probably going to leave tomorrow because it's been awful so far, and I just want out. I'll call him Adam. Adam, 25 male, is from a pretty rural area up in the mountains, keeping it vague on purpose, and his family are what I'd consider religious extremists.
Don't religious extremists not usually believe in Santa? They just celebrate Christ and his birth and everything, and like Santa isn't involved?
I guess this family believes in extreme Santa.
Okay. That's weird.
He told me this before I, 23 female, came to see them for Christmas. That they were very religious, as are mine, so I thought it would be similar. I'm not seeing my own family, as I just have my abusive mom left and we are no contact. I've only been seeing him a couple months, and his beliefs have only came up minimally, and Santa Claus was not part of that, lol. I don't even think we've mentioned it at all, despite walking around Walmart with Christmas decorations, holiday stuff on shelves, and him saying he wishes there was more Christian decor. Adam and his family call Santa Saint Nick to start off with. He has a large family, and we had a lot of regular Christmas Eve activities all day, including cooking breakfast and dinner with his family, sitting around and playing with the children, going to a church event around lunchtime. When we went to church, his mom would shake her head disapprovingly at some references towards Santa Claus the pastor made, and would whisper to his younger brother and her nephew next to her. I didn't hear what she said.
She disapproves of Santa.
But not Saint Nick. When we made dinner, she told me to fix a plate for Saint Nick, and I laughed and said, "Cookies aren't enough?" And Adam shot me a horrified look.
Oh no, you have offended the mother. Do not mock their customs. But yeah, I would be like, this isn't a usual custom that you would like go into this being aware of, right? Making a whole plate of dinner for Saint Nick is not usual.
I felt the gaze of his mother, and she gave me this sort of fake smile and said, "No, hun, that's not a filling meal." So I loaded up about as much as I gave Adam and the men in his family and put it on a plate. His mom put tinfoil over it and put it in the fridge in the garage. At some point, about 2/3 of his family left. Santa can't just survive on cookies.
That's the whole point of Santa. He's fueled by cookies and milk. That's what gets him around the world in one night.
Sorry, I guess Saint Nick can't manage that. Santa can.
Okay, yeah.
The children went to bed after about an hour of it being dark. Adam's mom told them to go settle into bed so Saint Nick can have his dinner and start to deliver presents. This gave me the implication that he would start his night here, rather than just stop by and have cookies and leave. I'm not sure.
Yeah, this is confusing. He needs to eat dinner so he can start delivering presents.
He's got to start somewhere.
I guess that's true. This family is just lucky enough to be the place he always starts.
His mom read a couple passages out of the Bible about family as we sat around their wood-burning stove, and we discussed my family situation a bit. Adam's dad then told Adam and I, as well as his little sister, to go to the guest house to sleep. It was about 9 p.m. I changed in the bathroom and said my goodnight to them and was about to walk out the door with Adam when his mom snapped her fingers and said, "Hon, you're forgetting the most important part of Christmas?" Adam looked pale for a sec before kind of nervously laughing and stepped back from the door holding my hand. We went out into the garage where he grabbed the plate. I said something like, "She's really serious about Santa getting his food, huh?" Trying to lighten the mood.
Oh, do not joke. This is not a time for joking. These crazy peoples are very serious about this.
He squeezed my hand really hard and said, "Yes, I'd say it's serious."
What kind of iron rule does this mother have over her children that she's like, "You're forgetting the most important part of Christmas," and they like get pale and nervous?
Well, that's just a religious family.
And I guess
We went back in to microwave the meal, and we awkwardly stood there in front of the microwave watching the plate turn around. I felt his parents' gaze on the back of my head. I said something again, I can't even remember what, kind of lighthearted about Santa having a full stomach if he eats like this at every house.
She needs to stop joking. They are taking this so seriously, and she keeps trying to be lighthearted and joke. Stop it.
OP can't read the room, can she?
She cannot.
There's a point where you just quietly nod along and escape in the morning.
Yes. For your own safety, you need to just silently agree with these people.
It's about self-preservation at a certain point. Adam gripped my hand harder than he did before, the first sign of affection he had given me in front of his parents all night. And he said, "His name is St. Nicholas, and he only eats his dinner here. Don't be disrespectful in our home." It sounds calm, all typed out like that, but the way he said it gave me chills. His parents didn't say anything, and I felt like I was going to cry, haha.
This is like a horror film. I feel like this is the beginning of a horror film. She needs to get out. It's like St. Nick is going to turn out to be Krampus or something. It's going to be a horror. I do not like it. I do not like this situation. Get out.
Adam is very nervous about St. Nick showing up, isn't he?
He's so nervous. And I don't know if it's about St. Nick or just his mom, but either way, it's not good. Or it's still a horror film, but it's not like Krampusy. It's like the mom is a crazy psycho and is going to murder you in your sleep because you are a non-believer in St. Nicholas.
I left to walk in the backyard to the guest house, and his sister was waiting in the mostly empty living room area in there. She said she started the wood-burning stove there, and she showed me where to sleep, a twin bed next to her, and said Adam would be in the next room over with his younger brother.
I forgot they're like in the rural mountains. This is even more creepy and horror movie-y.
Yeah, you can't escape right now. You have to wait till daylight or else you're going to get lost in the mountain.
This is so scary. I'm so scared for her.
Also, she's only been dating Adam for a few months.
Uh-huh.
Like, I don't know if I would even go to somebody's house for Christmas after only a few months.
Yeah, I do get that, but she doesn't have a family of her own, so she doesn't have anyone to celebrate with. This might be like hey, this is kind of nice thing to invite your girlfriend, because otherwise she doesn't really get to celebrate Christmas.
That is true. It does make sense that she would go along with him in this case. I just laid down, and I heard Adam come in maybe half an hour later and go straight to bed. I've just been laying here unable to get sleep because I'm so anxious, lol, and I already hear movement in the main house at this point, and I don't know what to think. I thought after everyone had left, mostly the small children, the St. Nick talk would end. I think his family, or at least him and everyone younger, legitimately believes this is a real person. His parents are really strict and live relatively off-grid and isolated. I barely have service here, so I'll see if this posts, because I can't even text my friends SOS right now.
Oh no, it is like a horror movie. She is trapped there.
I feel like I'm in a horror movie where they believe Santa is like a distant uncle or something. Does anyone know of any traditions like this? They killed a pig sometime in the last week as well as a couple chickens, and the whole family is coming back tomorrow, and maybe it'll be less weird with more people being here? A few of the cousins gave me a more modern vibe rather than the rest of his nuclear family. But I don't know. I might just head back and stay at my apartment a couple hours away alone. I don't think I can continue seeing him. It's just been so weird.
Yeah, this is a very concerning family, and your boyfriend is very concerning in that at 25, he still believes in St. Nicholas. And even if he doesn't, even if he has his doubts, he is so scared of his parents that he is just playing along with it. That is not a family you want to marry into.
I'm all for keeping the magic of Christmas alive, but there is a point where it starts to get weird.
Yeah, his family is taking it really far. I feel like there is an age where if you haven't figured out the whole Christmas thing yet, then it is concerning. Please tell me there's an update and she got out safely.
Somebody did comment, I wonder if OP is still alive. To which OP made her only reply to any comment in the thread. I'm still alive, not dead. Holidays ended horribly and my relationship is over. Probably for the best now that I've had time away from him. Talk to my friends, read comments. Because I essentially ruined Christmas. Saint Nick literally left the food untouched because there was a non-believer in the house. And Adam's mom made a point of it being because I was there. And I was essentially barred from seeing him and called a degenerate in front of his whole family.
Wow.
So, you didn't believe in Saint Nick so hard that Saint Nick wouldn't even grace the house this year.
So did the kids not get any presents or did he just snub the meal?
I don't know. I guess it depends on how little OP believed. I really did want to make a proper update to this, but felt ridiculous and embarrassed that it, 1, blew up so huge, 2, everything that I said was absolutely picked apart. I get that I sounded dramatic and whatever. I guess I just write dramatically, but I treated this no different than how I write in my diary. I think this is it. I can't imagine typing out another few paragraphs of the worst Christmas I've ever had, completely alone with crazy religious nuts, only for it to be called a horror movie in the making.
But it really was. It sounded like a horror movie. And maybe it's because she wrote dramatically, but that made it a good story and it sounded like a horror movie.
I think OP is taking that feedback wrong. I think that means you wrote a very engaging post.
Yeah, it was definitely engaging. I was very invested.
Like, yeah, I know, my life right now just sucks. Wish there was more to say or it was more dramatic for everyone wanting that, but I just don't have it in me. Wish I had a real family and relationships that don't suck. Wish I had answers for you or why his family is so crazy about the holidays and aren't normal people that let their son date girls outside their borderline Amish lifestyle. I don't know the end. So OP doesn't have answers either.
Well, I'm glad she got out safely, but I am very sorry that she had the worst Christmas of her life.
Yes, I agree on that. I'm very happy that OP survived the night. Because she does write dramatically, and I was legitimately worried. Reddit agrees on that point, by the way. While I'm very sorry you had a crap Christmas surrounded by crazy people, I'm honestly really happy that you're alive and nothing happened to you. I don't know you, and you don't know me, but I was worried. I hope things get better and you get a happier life soon with loving people around you.
Right now, she's being dramatic and like, this is the worst Christmas ever. But someday, this will be a very good story to tell other people.
I mean, it's already a
It
very
is
good
already,
story.
but she will appreciate it and be like, I went through something crazy. I survived, so it's okay, but you need to listen to how crazy this is. And it's going to be her favorite story to tell.
One angle that no one has talked about so far, what if she legitimately was dating, like, Saint Nick's nephew? Maybe she found Santa Claus's house.
And not Santa Claus, St. Nicholas.
I'm sorry, yes. I am disrespecting their religion by saying Santa Claus, aren't I?
The mother would be glaring daggers at you right now if she were here. Do not disrespect her brother like that. Am I the asshole for telling my mother-in-law not to place her own gift tags on Christmas presents I ordered for my children?
Oh no. Just based off that title, this sounds like an extremely trashy thing to do.
So basically, I had ordered all of my children's Christmas presents online to be sent to my in-laws' home, as we were spending Christmas there this year. My mother-in-law said that she didn't mind wrapping them up before we all got there. We arrived here yesterday and all was well. After the kids got settled in their room, I got a chance to ask her about the presents, and she told me that they were mostly all wrapped with just a couple she needed to finish off, and that they were stored in their basement. I did ask if she needed a hand to finish off the rest, but she insisted that I should rest after our journey. So I rejoined my husband in the sitting room. A couple of hours later, she had gone to take a nap, so I went down to the basement to see how many had been wrapped, and like she said, there were some still left to wrap, But as I was checking some of the bigger presents, I noticed that they already had gift tags taped to them.
So I guess it depends on how your family does the holidays. But we always did like your main gifts from your parents. You do that at home before you head off to grandma's. And then at the like extended family celebration, you generally don't do immediate family presents.
That's how we did it too, but it sounds like they're doing all of the Christmas presents at the in-laws' house.
I mean, I guess that's your family's tradition.
When I flipped the tags, they read, "From Grandma," on not just one, but on all of the bigger ones. So I immediately went and told my husband about what I just found, and he said that his mom had asked if she could put a few of her tags on, as she didn't want to disappoint her grandsons.
Okay, it does kind of sound like nobody's communicating a little. Like, did your mother-in-law think that you were just providing gifts for her to give to the kids? I mean, but then she asked your husband, and he said yes, so I don't know. I don't know how the discussion went.
My husband agreed that she could and told me that it isn't a big deal and that this is the only time we will be spending Christmas over at theirs, as they live 4 hours away. I'm mad that most of the bigger presents are all things that I had pre-ordered for a long time and put a lot of thought into, and had some toys personalized with their names, which cost a lot of money.
Okay, this is kind of why you do your own presents beforehand at your own house. Also, you now have to transport all this junk back to your house. I feel like you don't have forethought.
Yeah, that's one of the big reasons we didn't do like real Christmas presents with the extended family, because we were driving from Michigan to Pennsylvania for Christmas, and Mom and Dad could not fit all the Christmas presents in the car, so we had Christmas a week earlier than real Christmas.
Yeah, like for my family, it was we would drive across town, but you filled the car with like food and, smaller gifts for all the cousins, and then the car's pretty full. You don't need to be packing in your own immediate family's gifts on top of that. That seems like a lot of trouble. But once again, that's your tradition. It just sounds like your tradition doesn't work for you.
Anyways, my mother-in-law came back downstairs from her nap, so I basically told her that I don't think it's right for her to just do that without asking me also. She got super upset and told me that I was being selfish and tried guilt-tripping by saying this could be one of the last Christmases she will have. She's old, but she's not that old, 71.
That's a little early to be playing the "I'm gonna die soon" card.
I think my grandparents and great-grandparents all started playing the "this could be my last Christmas" card in their like late 60s, early 70s, and they all lived to 90.
Did they?
It was decades of "this could be my last Christmas."
I only ever had the one grandparent that I ever knew, and she never played the "this is gonna be my last Christmas" card.
Oh, it is very common in both of my sides of my families.
But I will add, in mother-in-law's defense, she did ask your husband for permission before she put those tags on. And I feel like if I asked one parent, I do not need to go and ask the other parent and see if the first parent was just wrong.
Okay, this is where I think you're a little bit wrong. The mother-in-law purposefully asked the son because she knows he is not involved in the purchasing and picking out of the gifts, so he wouldn't care. She had been coordinating the delivery of the presents and the wrapping of them with her daughter-in-law already, but she went around her daughter-in-law to ask her son, can I put my name on some of these tags? Because she knew her daughter-in-law would not be okay with it.
That's a good point. It's a lot like going and asking dad if you can go to your friend's house because dad will say yes.
It really is. She's being very childish and sneaky about it. Mother-in-law told me that I'm ruining Christmas already. I don't know. I'm trying my best to appear as if nothing is wrong around my kids. I do feel bad and that I may be overreacted. I don't know what to do. Should I leave her tags on and apologize, or put my own tags on and tell her she could have brought more? This is turning into a nightmare. Am I the asshole?
I mean, I don't think you're the asshole for wanting to get credit for the things that you bought for your own children. Having said that, I think that you lack foresight, because I do not believe that you knew so little about your mother-in-law and your husband's personalities that you'd had no idea this was a possibility.
That is a very good point. She's been married to this guy and been part of her in-laws family for long enough that they have like kids that are like a little bit grown up. So years, she should know what her mother-in-law is like and that this was a possibility.
Yeah, And maybe the solution was to open the big presents at home, and then if mother-in-law sticks her name on all the little presents, it's not that big of a deal. Or you could have driven them up instead of having mother-in-law wrap them. I feel like you don't have as much insight into your in-laws as you should have.
However, that being said, she shouldn't have to go to all these great lengths to circumvent her in-laws' sneakiness.
Oh, I fully agree with that. Just because your mother-in-law is a Grinch and is trying to steal Christmas from you, it does not make you the asshole for not seeing it ahead of time.
Yeah, like this is not OP's fault. Now, this does sound like it's a budget issue for the mother-in-law. She wants to get gifts and spoil the kids, but doesn't have the money to do so. So she's trying to like mooch some of the gifts that you bought for your kids off of you and put her name tag on it so that the kids think it came from her and she looks good. But it is very presumptuous of her to pick the best gifts out of all the gifts you got for your kids and put her name on them.
Yeah, there's a difference between wanting to get brownie points with your grandkids and just straight up stealing credit from their parents.
Top comment, NTA, she is overstepping here and taking advantage of a situation. What did she actually get the grandkids? She shouldn't have asked your husband, as we are all aware she did that just to circumvent you. Clearly, you were the one she organized everything to do with the presents with until she decided she wanted to put her name on things. Very deceptive of her and really shitty that your husband didn't tell you right away, even if he was okay with it. Maybe he should help more with the presents overall, too.
Yeah, husband is also an asshole in this situation.
He's like, he didn't put any time or thought or effort into the presents, so he's like, yeah, sure, do whatever you want, Ma.
Yeah, he put in no effort, and then he's enabling his mom's behavior. I feel like he should also know that his wife will not like this. I'm just having a lot of trouble picturing a family where you don't have an idea of how your spouse and in-laws are going to react to things. Because husband should really know that his wife wants credit for this. OP should know that her mother-in-law is up to something. OP should also know that her husband's a bit of a pushover when it comes to his mom. I don't know, I just feel like nobody's got the foresight that I want them to have, and I can't get over that point.
Another comment, are you joking? Rip those tags off and tell mother-in-law she can buy her own gifts if she doesn't want to disappoint the grandchildren. This is beyond cheeky, and I can guarantee she's rifled through the presents and chosen the biggest, most expensive ones to present from Grandma. Absolutely not. Your husband is a massive asshole, and the fact that they discussed this behind your back is downright manipulative. I'm actually so angry on your behalf.
Yeah, I mean, you have every right to be mad about this, and you have every right to pull those tags off and put your own name back on. Having said that, do we need to embrace a little bit more of the Christmas spirit of family and togetherness and maybe put "and Grandma" on the end of a couple presents?
Screw that. She went behind my back, and maybe that would have been an option if she asked, but now, no.
That is a good point. She did try to go around your back. I'm just trying to think of a method where you don't harm your children's relationship with their grandparents. Or your husband's relationship with your mom, or your relationship with your in-laws. I know that she threw the first punch. It's the holidays, and I'd love it if there was a peaceful solution where somebody doesn't lose. I'm just not sure there is one. You're kind of in a corner here.
I feel like there is a way to handle this so the kids never know about it, but it is going to cause a rift between you and mother-in-law.
Yeah, it's not going to be a problem of the kids finding out. I think it's just going to be a problem of you getting in a fight with your mother-in-law at Christmas, and the grudge will last forever. And this might be her last Christmas.
It might be. She's 71. She could die any day now.
It's true.
Okay, someone else points out in the comments that this was a lousy asshole move. Mother-in-law knew you would be upset and sneakily told you it was all fine and ready so you'd find out when it was too late. That is another good point. She said, all the presents are wrapped, everything's fine. OP would not have found out that the name tags were swapped to say Grandma until the kids were opening the presents if she hadn't gone down to check herself while Grandma was napping.
I completely forgot about that aspect of it. How mad would OP have been if the kids were already opening it and said, "Oh, thank you, Grandma," when it's too late for you to say anything?
Yeah. Be like, I put so much thought into that gift. And now Grandma's getting all the credit, and she would have been like blindsided by this as the kids were opening the presents. I don't know how you hide that from your kids then.
Grandma really is throwing you under the bus here. Like, I know I'm trying to push, like, family togetherness because it's the holidays, but my God, Grandma sure isn't.
Is she impoverished to the point that she couldn't purchase each child a modest gift? Remove the tags from all but one gift for each child and replace the others with the gift tag from you and your husband. Granny doesn't want the kids to feel disappointed, but won't they be much more disappointed when there are no presents from mom and dad? And shame on your husband who told her she could do this without asking you first.
So when I was growing up, Grandma had a lot of grandkids.
So many.
So we always expected a small gift. And my parents made it very clear. I think everyone's parents made it very clear that, Grandma can't afford to give gifts to like 20 grandkids or whatever.
Yeah, same in my family. There's like 30 grandkids. Grandma is not rich. So each kid got a $10 gift or $10 in a card. I think once we got a little bit older, it went up to like $15 just because like $10 wasn't much of a present anymore because of inflation. But when I was a kid, it was $10. When I was a teen, it was like $15. That's all you get from Grandma because there are too many darn grandkids.
Yeah, it's really more about just getting the acknowledgement from Grandma than the actual gift, right? Like, I was happy with like a bag of candy because my parents already got me stuff. Like, I felt loved.
Yeah.
I did not need Grandma to get me a new Xbox or anything. So yeah, OP is definitely not the asshole in this situation. Grandma definitely is the asshole, and so is husband.
Well, that's our last festive tale for this very merry episode of Josh and Kristie Stealing the Internet.
Hit that holly jolly subscribe button, and we'll see you next time.